Hi everybody, thank you for joining me here at Shanna's Sweets. It's that time of year. It's time for the new annual catalog. June is the time when the new catalog annual comes out and we now can order from it. It's such an exciting time of the year. And it's time for my sweet treat video in which I show you the tutorial to make my two cards for my sweet treats. And this month, of course, I am starting out using my favorite stamp set in the catalog, Sailing Home. I love all things nautical, and this one is on the cover of the catalog. Anybody who knows me knows that my son is in the Navy, and so of course I always get anything sea related. And this set comes in a suite, and they've kind of done the catalog a little bit different. So when you open it up, and this is on page 145, you've got these great big gorgeous pictures of samples. So see here, you can see samples on the 2 pages, and then if you want everything in the suite, you can just put one number in and you can have everything that comes. So you got the stamp set and the dies, and there's even an embossing folder, and then there's paper, and there's memory and more cards, and then there's twine, and then there's trinkets, and you can just get everything with one number. And then if you flip the page, then you can see the paper up close and the stamp set up close. And then you can turn back and see the dies. Now I'm going to show you, this was a sample I made for my catalog launch, and this is using the memory and more cards. And look at these awesome laser cut sheets that you get in there. You get some really pretty. Here's another one. Here I've used some of the smaller ones, and then some of the dies that label the stamp set. So you can mix and match the stamp sets. There's my gorgeous son right there and some of his pals. So I've used, this is our, what do I want to say, scrapbook, 12 by 12 pocket per sheet things that I've used. And here's some more. He was just at Fleet Week a week or so, a little over a week ago in New York. So I printed off some of the pictures he posted in on Facebook. And see, I just used a mixture of those memory more cards and I think I cut some DSP. No, this is a card. This is 2 of the cards. The laser cut with one of the cards behind it, and some stickers that are in there. And here I used the twine with one of the little embellishments. So you can really use this kit together, and it is so awesome. And I just love it. So of course I had to make it my first sweet treat. So, and I just want to show you, this is the dies. I put them on a magnetic sheet that's just a vent cover I get from the hardware store. They're a little bit different because of course we've changed manufacturers. So the folders are made a little bit different than they were before. This pocket is just a little bit different than before. I found that if you keep your dies facing opposite of the pocket's a little easier to latch. So you want to kind of come down and then fold it under. But it's easier if you keep the dies on the opposite side of the latch. It's just a little easier. And don't forget, if you put the stickers on your stamps, they're super clingy. So you have to be really careful. Sometimes it helps to use the Picket tool. Once you get them off and on a couple times, then they come really easy. So if you never have gotten my sweet treat, there'll be a link down below with the host code. I just ask that you use it. Then you'll get this little packet in the mail with my PDF, although this video is here too if you need that, but there's the PDF. And then you get the little packet with all the pieces and parts in here, not stamp images because I can't do that, and then some envelopes for these 2 cards. Now I do make the cards on so I've used stamp circles, and this is a square, so you can, if you don't, you know, want to use this, you can use something else. That's fine. So let's get started. Let's start with the navy blue one. And let's go ahead and start with this because I want to do a little bit of wash and may need to let it dry. So I'm taking Balmy Blue, kind of squishing it together with my thumbs. I'm gonna have to squish a little harder. The newer pads are a little bit more difficult to do some squashing. Now I'm getting it kind of wet because I'm gonna wet my paper first. Kind of get it really good and wet. And then I'm gonna add a drop more water to my ink pad there and make a nice little pool of Balmy Blue. And then you just kind of want to, however dark you want your paper to be, that's kind of up to you on how you want that. And I'm going to have it a little darker at the bottom than I am at the top. So I'm kind of ombre-ish here, so I'm adding a little bit more color at the bottom. Just trying to add just a little bit darker. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna set that aside for a minute and see if that'll dry. Now I've got Night of Navy for my bottom paper. And I'm just going to fold that, turn that around, and then I've got some Whisper White. This is 8.5 by 5.5 that I've folded at 4 1/4, and then I have some Whisper White that is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to layer just right on top. And then I'm using the DSP, and this is 3 3/4 by 5. And that's going to go right on top also. And I'm using shimmer paper is what I washed on. And my little twine here, I'm just going to kind of tie a very loose knot. I'm actually not going to tie it all the way, because I want to see part of that knot. So I'm going to take just a little piece of tape. I actually don't want all of it. So, and that's what I'm going to stamp actually before I put that tape on there. I'm going to make this a thanks card. There's thanks and congrats, so you could choose either image. But I use a lot of thank you cards, so I'll take my tape, and I want the bottom of that knot to stick out. That's why I made that knot loose. So see, once you have it, then you can tighten it up a little bit. So I feel like that's still just a little damp, so I'm going to heat it with my heat tool here a little bit. Because I want to stamp my lighthouse in Night of Navy. So I'm going to stamp that to the left. Okay, because I'm going to have this at the top. So I got some birds here, and I'm going to ink up my birds in Sierra Sand. And I decided I like having multiple birds there. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on my let's go ahead and put this down. Make sure it's down good. Then I can put my and then I can trim this up. And I think my twine's going to kind of have a mind of its own. So if I take a little glue dot here, I can kind of help that twine find its place. It's really, really thick, so it only really needs the one side. I'll kind of tame it down like that. And I got a corner that wants to not lay right here either, so we'll just use another dot there. Couple corners here. Paper wants to curl. So there we go. That's one of them. Now, my second card, I'm going to go ahead and take my bottom sheet of my brown, my soft suede, and I'm going to make my own little designer paper. Now, you can be really anal about this knot and try to line the edges up, but I didn't really worry about it because this is a cling stamp and it's very difficult to line up the edges. So I decided, instead of stressing myself out and worrying about doing that, I was not going to go there. So excuse me. But I did want them to kind of be in straight. But not totally even. So I do have the edge going off. So that it's not totally lined up. Oops, I'm still going to use that soft suede. Now, I'm going to take a piece of burlap before I get all crazy with tape is. And I'm going to put it across the lower edge. Well, I should look before I put that tape down, I guess, because I did not do a very good job of that. And then we can take our Whisper White. I'm going to go ahead and do all my little corners there since that burlap's kind of thick. Alright, if I can line it up better. And then I have a large circle here that is using the little knots there. And I think I'm going to take a glue dot and put it up underneath that twine. I think I got it. I think we'll add another one where that paper's at there, just to be on the safe side. And then we're going to, there's two circles. You have a large circle and a small circle. So the small circle, I'm taking the sentiment, set sail in the direction of your dreams, and it just barely fits on there, but it fits perfectly. And then the smaller circle is the sailboat, which, here it is, fits just perfectly like that. Now, the sentiment is going to go on top of this navy scalloped from the circle. This is a 1.5 inch circle punch, and then this circle is from the circle frames along with the scallop. So both of these are going to get dimensionals. And then they will go on the front of our card. So this guy's going to go right there. This one's going to go right there. And then this little guy, which is a knot from the framelits, he's going to get a glue dot. And I'm just going to curl the glue dot so he can't see it. And I just kind of, I think we'll go ahead and tuck one more little glue dot. Just to be safe. And there we go. That is our 2 cards for our sweet treat this month. Pretty simple, but very pretty. And I love them both. And I hope you will too. And I will hope you enjoy the new catalog as much as I am. I think it's totally awesome and one of the best yet. If you have any questions or want any help with the catalog, feel free to message me and I'll be glad to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like and share my video. Bye.